I keep getting this question over and over and over again because a lot of people are asking me the question about steroids. First of all, number one, it doesn't come from people who read the Bible, and stuff like that. There are different perspectives and different ambitions in life. And of course, people have asked me over the years, have you used steroids before, Pastor Dow? And the answer is a positively no. No, I've never used steroids before. Number one, out of fear. And because I sit back and I used to see what happened with people when they did take steroids. But I will tell you this. I do know that they work. I know that they work from firsthand examples of people who I have known. And the reason why I didn't take them, first of all, I didn't see a need in taking steroids. I was naturally strong and still am. Even at the age that I am now, I'm still what you would call somewhat naturally strong. I had gotten to one point in my life where I was actually repping 375 pounds 10 times. I think my personal best. I can't remember. It's somewhere between 425 pounds on the bench press and 475 pounds. But all that came naturally, every bit of it, because I was too fearful of doing steroids. Same as with cocaine, marijuana, drugs. I grew up in that environment every single day. I saw what you call my buddies, friends, chums, and pals smoking marijuana or doing all types of drugs and stuff, but I never would do it. I had it offered to me many times over, but I would look at them and see what it would do to them, and they said they would feel good, and it was a high, and I should try it, and I wouldn't do it. I just couldn't do it, and didn't do it. But back on the subject of steroids, I mean, I have a few pictures of me a few years ago, which I haven't been lifting a lot lately because I've been doing a lot of building, a lot of working on the land. My time is really being consumed a lot in the ministry because as the ministry grows, more people are coming, more people are acknowledging and finding out what the real truth is. I'm very passionate for the truth. But I've never taken steroids. I wouldn't advise anyone to take steroids. Now, if you want to take steroids, that's your prerogative. I don't advise people to take steroids. And the other question is bodybuilders, champions, like Ronnie Coleman, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lee Haney, people like that. Jake Cutler, Phil Heath, all these people. What do you think about them? First of all, number one, they are not champions. Because just like you have steroids in sports, you have to understand, we live in a time in a society today where people, they don't care about cheating. It's all about winning at any cost. And if you look at the pictures from the people in the 80s, bodybuilders from the 80s, and they were doing steroids then, the 70s, the 80s, and then you get on up to where we are at today in the 2000s, you'll see a vast difference in the human anatomy, and you notice that these people they have just went off literally the proverbial chain, because there's no way that Arnold Schwarzenegger or Lee Haney can compete with somebody of the likes of a Phil Heath, a Jay Cutler, or a Ronnie Coleman today. When you look at these people are just literal freaks. But they're not champions by a long shot. As a matter of fact, they look healthy, but they are some of the most unhealthy people that there are. You look at the first Miss Olympia, I think her name was Rachel McLeish or something like that, and one of the great female bodybuilders of all time. It's two of them, matter of fact, Corey Everson and Linda Murray. You look at those women back then, and then look at Iris Kyle today, and some of these other women. I mean, it is off the chain what is taking place. One thing I have learned about these people as they get older in life, because when you're young, you're not thinking about what's going to take place in your life as you get older. You only think about the then and the now. But when you get older, a lot of things that you've done when you were younger, they start to show up in your body. That's the reason why it's important for you to take care of your body. When I met Sister Cindy about 6 years ago, Cindy made a statement, and she said, whatever you did 10 years ago is going to show up today. And I have found that statement to be true. I've watched people, in their diets, what they eat, the things that they do in their lives. And you can tell pretty much what they've done. I watched the effects of alcohol, the effects of drugs. I watched the effects of the abuse of the body, whether it be through sugar and obesity. I watched it. Literally, I've watched it in my life. I watched the effects of all this in my life, and I can tell you that it would be better off for you that if you would take charge, take control of your health, which is real true wealth, because there's no amount of money that can pay for a healthy body and a healthy mind and a healthy spirit. It would be my advice to you to do it the old-fashioned way. Just, lift little weights here and there, and I'll show you what I mean. I'll show you how it looked a few years ago, as well as some modern pictures of today. But you won't be seeing no pictures with no shirts off and stuff. That was years ago. And besides all that, I don't know where a lot of those pictures are. I can't even find any pictures when I was in the military. Let me show you a few pictures here just for a second. Well, there you have some of the pictures, and these are recent pictures of me living here on the land and stuff. But I've never have advocated steroid use of any kind. I believe that if you supplement the right way. You use the right vitamins, especially naturally. A lot of times people spend a lot of money on supplements, and I used to. I've been through all that, and a lot of them are just fillers. But if you spend more money on food than you do supplements, you'll be better off. Eggs, good clean steak and chicken, rice for carbohydrates, and a sweet potato. Most people say baked potato, I say sweet potato. And drinks lots of clean water, lots and lots and lots of clean water. And then you would do have to supplement at times, but you need to find a denatured protein, a good denatured protein that hasn't been processed and burned out by heat. And get rid of the microwave out of your house. Just get rid of the thing. The thing is no good for you. Sure, it heats up your food quick, but you destroy everything that your body is meant to use it for. So there's a lot to learn, and I hope that I've said something to help the people out. I hope I've said something to encourage the hearts here. I'm exercising again because it's winter time, because I have a lot of work to do here in the summer. But my advice would be is to don't take steroids. And you watch it in Major League Baseball, you watch it in Major League Football. A lot of these people who people look up to as icon, idols, heroes, champions, such as in bodybuilders. The truth is that none of them are champions, not a one of them, because they're not true to the natural order of things. Lance Armstrong, look, he drugged up, and he's not even a bodybuilder or nor either a guy that you would like in football or baseball. He wasn't a Mark McGuire or a Sammy Sosa. He doesn't look like Lyle Alzado and all these other people, but he's just a little thin cyclist and stuff. And even he, in order to get a competitive edge, used drugs. If you're going to go into that arena, know you're going to be faced with that. But for me, just an everyday old simple man, no, I chose not to. And one of the main reasons why I chose not to ever do steroids is because I didn't want my physical anatomy to be messed with. I wanted to always be able to function well up into my 70s and be the father's will of the 80s and the 90s. I didn't want to risk a chance at my health going bad because of bad decisions and choices I made being young and being foolish. So now you don't need to be beefed up and stuff like that. You can gain enough strength to take care and do what you need to do, and just be satisfied. It's all about contentment. So no, I don't recommend anyone to take antibiotic steroids because the danger to the body and what it does, there's a high price to pay. Do they work? Yes, they do work, and they work extraordinary fast, and they just work. They flat out work. But that's my own personal opinion. So no, Pastor Dow's never taken any steroids. So anyway, I hope that you all encourage. I hope that you all are doing well, and I hope that I've said something as a pastor to encourage you and give you a little small lesson.